Hello parents, in review for our math test today, I'm going to go over the expanded form of division. For the expanded form, instead of listing each number over the place values, we list them above and then we add them together to get our quotient. So we're going to start looking at the largest place value, which is the thousands place. If I were to multiply 9 times 1,000, again because we are in the thousands place, I would get 9,000. That is too large of a product to use in this division problem. So I move over and I look at 84. I am in the hundreds place, so I am multiplying by hundreds. 9 times 900 is going to get me as close to 8,410, because 9 times 900 is going to get me 8,100. And now I am ready to subtract, so I subtract 1 from 4 and get 3, and I have a 1 and a 0. I am now at 310. I am also working in my tens place. So I am looking for a number that gets very close to 310, and I'm multiplying by tens. 9 times 30 is going to get us 270. And now I am ready to subtract. So I do need to do a little regrouping. I have 11 minus 7, which is 4, and a 0 in the ones place, which gives me a 40. Now the closest thing I can come to 40 in the ones place is multiplying 9 by 4, which we're going to squeeze right up here. 9 times 4 is 36. Which gives me, after a little regrouping, a remainder of 4. Now when I compare my last number with my 9, it is smaller than 9, so that means it is going to be a remainder. I cannot divide 4 by 9 any further. So I'm going to add my numbers together. I have 930 and a 4, so 934. And then I have a remainder of 4 left over. Now I tell the students to go ahead and check their work using multiplication, and when we have a remainder, it must be by multiplication and addition. 934 times 9 is our first step. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 3 is 27, and we must add our 3. 27, 28, 29, 30. And then 9 times 9 is 81, and we must also add that 3. 81, 82, 83, 84. Now you're probably looking at this and thinking, well, that's not right. And it's because we still have a remainder, and that remainder must be added. Because we could not divide anything into the 4 is left over as a remainder and must be added back in. 6 plus 4 is 10. And carry our 1. 1, 4, 8. My product matches my dividend, and I know that I have done my work properly. What I'm going to do for you here is the place value model. So using my red pen, I'm going to create a place value box. And I see that my dividend has 4 place values. It goes up to 1,000, so I'm going to create 4 boxes, 1 for each place value. So we have our thousands, our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. As I tell the students, whatever is on the inside also goes on the inside, and we start inside the first box. So we have 6,618, and it is being divided by 6. So looking at my largest place value, it is a 6. I ask myself if that 6 can be divided by our divisor 6, and it can. We are working in the thousands place, so we multiply 6 by 1,000. So 1,000 multiplied by 6 equals 6,000. Still working within the thousands, I now subtract, and I am left with 618. This number then gets moved to the hundreds place because now I will be working in the hundreds place value. So again, looking at the largest place value, I asked myself, can 618 be divided by 6, or can 600 be divided by 6? And the answer is yes. It can fit 100 times. 100 times 6 gives us 600. And now I am ready to subtract within the hundreds place. And I am left with 18. I'm going to move it over to the tens place. Now if I multiply 6 times 10, because I am in the tens place, I'm going to get 60. So that tells me that there are no tens that I can multiply 6 by to get close enough to 18. It's all going to be too big. So I'm going to have a 0 in the tens place. Again, because we are multiplying by the tens, if I start with 10 times 6, I get 60. It is way too big. 6 times 0 gives me a 0. And if I go through the steps here, I'm still left with 18. So that 0 is going to hold the place of the tens, because there are no tens that can be used in this number. Again, if I multiply by 10, I get 60. It is way too big for 18. So I use a 0 to hold that place, and I move my 18 into the ones. Now, because I know my 6 multiplication tables, I know that 6 times 3 is 18, so I multiply 3 times 6. I have 18, and I subtract to get a 0. I have no remainders. Now, over each of these lines, I tell the students that there are invisible plus signs, because we are going to go back up and add them together. Our work is not done until we have added all of our products up at the top together, our factors. So we have a 1,000. A 100, no tens, and a 1, which gives us the answer 1,103. Now I ask the students to check their work by going back in and multiplying 1,103 times 6. And this should give us our dividend here, 6,618. So 6 times 3 is 18. I carry the 1 into the tens place. 6 times 0 is 0, but I have a 1, so I add the 1 in. 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 times 1 is 6 again. My dividend and my product here do check out.